we're a transition species, kind of. Like, we kind of are, if you think about it. Like, 6 million years ago, we were great apes. We were living in trees. We were animals, Instant gratification, we just do what is easy and pleasurable in the current moment. We worry about our survival and reproduction, just basic animal things. And then we developed this prefrontal cortex that is in a whole different kind of level of development that no other animal has, and we can visualize the future, and we can be rational. And so now we kind of have this amazing magical ability to be conscious and be rational, but we're also still, it's like this higher being woke up inside of our head and said, shit, I'm in an animal. Because it's just stuck in an animal, and it has to deal with all of the different animal, insecurities and needs and tribal tendencies. Progress of the last 10 generations was probably going to be about the same as the progress of the next 10 generations. But as the species gets more and more advanced, you have something called the law of accelerating returns. A more advanced species can make progress quicker than a less advanced species. We probably made a lot more progress, for example, in the 19th century than we did in the 15th century overall. But if you get to this point, it starts accelerating, and our predictions get very wrong very quickly. So we've got your ant and your chicken and your ape and your human here, right? Now, as an analogy here, so just say you have an AI that has gotten up to here, and it can get itself just a little smarter than Einstein. Now, Einstein's a pretty sick computer scientist, if that's what he dedicated his career to. He would have been real good at that, right? So now it makes itself smarter than Einstein. Now it's the smartest thing that's ever lived. It makes itself way smarter, and before you know it, it's up 2 full steps above us. Now, same distance that we are to this chimp, okay? Just think about how big a deal 2 steps is. Chimps are damn smart. Their brains look a lot like ours on a table, okay? Their DNA is 99% the same as ours. And yet, if we're in a battle with them, put them in a cage, what are you going to do now? You're in a cage. Oh, and I have a taser and a gun, and I can poison your food, and you have no power, and I'm God to you because of these 2 steps. 2 steps, we can play complete God to this creature. The point of thinking about SpaceX at the end of all this, and not earlier on, is that the reason for SpaceX isn't because it's cool, isn't because rockets are awesome. That's one of the reasons. It's an adventure to try to go to Mars. But it's the fact that life on Earth is precarious, given that we are in this exponential increase, that we're in the middle of it, that we're being really potentially very reckless. And it's hard to see it when we're in it. But we might be kids playing with a bomb. So that's what Elon wants to do. And they believe that they can send the first ships there in 2024 with people in them. And I just want to show you the size of the ship because it's extremely, extremely rad. It's the size of a skyscraper. That's a house at the bottom. That thing at the top is the spaceship. That alone is 16 stories and can fit 300 people. So they want to send that thing with 300 people to Mars, eventually, after 15 or 20 years, sending over 1,000 of them every 2 years, every time Earth laps Mars and they're next to each other. And you're going to be sending hundreds of thousands of people back and forth. This is reality. AI is reality. This crazy VR future is reality.